Let me ask you something personal. Do you ever get the feeling that you are going to be financially successful, but you just cannot explain why? Or maybe you look at your life right now and wonder if the habits you have, the way you think, the decisions you make, are they actually pointing you toward wealth or away from it? Today, we are going to answer that question definitively. Welcome to TDC Global. In this video, I am breaking down the 7 signs that you are going to be rich. Signs that most people completely overlook because they do not look like what wealth is supposed to look like. And here is the thing. These are not signs like you already have a lot of money or you went to a good school. These are behavioral and psychological signals, things you do, think, and value that predict financial success with remarkable consistency. Let us get into it. Sign number 1, you are uncomfortable with lifestyle inflation. Most people get a raise and immediately upgrade their lifestyle. New car, better apartment, more expensive restaurants. It feels like a reward, and for most people, it becomes a trap. If you find yourself resisting this instinct, if getting a raise makes you think, how much of this can I invest, rather than, what can I buy now, that is a powerful signal. The wealthy are not people who never spend money. They are people who are deeply uncomfortable spending money on things that do not build their future. That discomfort is not deprivation. It is discipline. And it is one of the clearest early indicators of future wealth. Sign number 2, you think in terms of assets, not income. Most people measure their financial success by how much they earn. Wealthy people measure it by what they own. There is a fundamental difference between someone who thinks I need to earn more money and someone who thinks I need to acquire more assets. The first person is always dependent on their next paycheck. The second person is building something that will eventually make paychecks optional. If you find yourself naturally thinking about owning things, rental properties, stocks, businesses, intellectual property, rather than just earning a higher salary, you are already thinking like someone who will be wealthy. Sign number 3, you invest in yourself consistently. This is one of the most underrated signs of future wealth. People who become financially successful almost universally share one habit. They never stop learning. They read books on finance, business, psychology, and history. They take courses. They seek out mentors. They pay for knowledge that makes them more valuable, more effective, and more capable of generating and managing wealth. If you are the kind of person who regularly invests time and money in your own education and skill development, even when it is not required, even when nobody is telling you to, you are exhibiting one of the most reliable predictors of long-term financial success. Sign number 4, you are comfortable being patient. Wealth is built slowly. This is one of the most important and least discussed truths in personal finance. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after his 50th birthday. Not because he started late, but because compound interest requires time to produce its most dramatic results. The people who build genuine wealth are almost always people who can hold investments through downturns, delay gratification consistently, and think in decades rather than months. If you find it natural to think long-term, to make decisions based on where you want to be in 10 years rather than what feels good today, that patience is an enormous financial asset. Sign number 5, you track your money. This one sounds simple, but it is surprisingly rare. Most people have only a vague sense of where their money goes each month. They know roughly what they earn and roughly what they spend, but the details are fuzzy. And you cannot optimize what you cannot measure. People who build wealth almost universally know their numbers. They know their income, their expenses, their savings rate, their net worth, and their investment returns. Not obsessively, but precisely enough to make informed decisions. If you are someone who tracks your spending, monitors your net worth, and reviews your financial situation regularly, even if the numbers are not impressive yet, you are practicing a habit that will compound into financial success over time. Sign number 6, you are not impressed by displays of wealth. This might sound counterintuitive, but one of the clearest signs that someone is going to build genuine wealth is that they are not seduced by the appearance of wealth. They are not impressed by expensive cars, designer clothes, or luxury watches. because they understand that these things are often signals of someone spending their wealth rather than building it. As Thomas Stanley found in his research on American millionaires, the most genuinely wealthy people are often the least visibly wealthy. If you find yourself more interested in someone's balance sheet than their lifestyle, more impressed by financial independence than by luxury consumption, you are thinking like someone who will achieve the former. Sign number 7, you take full responsibility for your financial situation. This is perhaps the most important sign of all. People who stay broke almost universally have explanations for why their financial situation is not their fault. The economy, their upbringing, their employer, the system. These things may have made the journey harder, but they are not the reason for staying stuck. People who build wealth take radical ownership of their financial lives. They do not wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect economy, or the perfect circumstances. They work with what they have, make the best decisions available to them, and keep moving forward regardless of external conditions. If you are someone who looks at your financial situation, whatever it is, and asks, "What can I do about this?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" that mindset alone puts you ahead of the majority. So, how many of these signs do you have? If you recognized yourself in even 2 or 3 of them, you are already on the right path. These are not traits you are born with. They are habits and mindsets that can be developed, practiced, and strengthened over time. The fact that you are watching a video like this one is itself a sign. Most people are not seeking this kind of knowledge. You are. And that matters more than you might think. If this video gave you value, subscribe to TDC Global for weekly content on mindset, money, and building a life you actually want. And grab our complete financial freedom blueprint in the description below. The link is waiting for you. See you in the next one.